Growing up with epilepsy was extremely isolating. Even well into the 90s, the term epilepsy and seizures was taboo. It just wasn't common for an 8-year-old child to take medication or properly pronounce an electroencephalograph. It all changed when I discovered the Epilepsy Foundation and Camp Discovery at age 15. Through the foundation, I was able to properly manage my seizures and my epilepsy, and I was able to meet a bunch of other people for the first time with the condition. Prior to going to the foundation, I had known nobody with epilepsy. Afterwards, I was open to a whole new world in which everyone had epilepsy. And it was extremely liberating because I could talk openly about my condition. At camp and at the foundation, I could talk about my side effects and my scans and my doctor's appointments, and everyone understands what I am talking about. I don't have to explain myself. Through the Epilepsy Foundation and Camp Discovery, I've gained a second family and a magnificent support system, so thank you very much for that.
My name is Erin Strobel, and I'm the proud mother of 2 little girls, Briella, who is 7, and Marisa, who is 3. Briella was 2.5 years old when she had her first seizure, and my husband and I found ourselves in a dark, scary place very quickly. At the time, I didn't know about the Epilepsy Foundation of Michigan, so we set off on our journey alone. Familiar with the healthcare industry through our jobs, we felt equipped with the knowledge to navigate our journey successfully. Unfortunately, we didn't know what we didn't know. About a year after Briella's diagnosis, I reconnected with a friend from college who is very active with the Epilepsy Foundation of Michigan. She encouraged me to start a team for the Summer Stroll for Epilepsy and come see a little of what the foundation is all about. When my family and I arrived at the Detroit Zoo for our first Summer Stroll experience, we were shocked at the number of people there in support of a person with epilepsy. On that day, it became clear that one of the many wonderful things the Epilepsy Foundation of Michigan does is bring people with epilepsy together. They have built a community of people with epilepsy who work hard every day to overcome the impact of seizures. And they have built a community of moms, dads, and caregivers who can relate to and support one another on a journey that is just never predictable. And on that day, for the first time since Briella's diagnosis, my husband and I finally realized we are not alone. 19 months post-diagnosis, Briella had her first day without a seizure. Shortly after, I began volunteering with the Epilepsy Foundation of Michigan in hopes of sparing other mothers or fathers of that dark, scary feeling of being alone on their journey. But before I had the chance, I found myself again being the one in need of help. Briella's seizures went from controlled to the worst they had ever been in what felt like overnight. The Epilepsy Foundation of Michigan rushed to our side and identified an expert in rare forms of epilepsy. At her first appointment, we received a new diagnosis, a new treatment plan, and a new hope. Over the next 2.5 years, the Epilepsy Foundation of Michigan trained Briella's school and daycare on seizure management and spent hours ensuring Briella's IEP at school is specific to her learning style. The foundation remains committed to building and connecting the epilepsy community here in Michigan. For me, it's a community of moms, dads, and caregivers who know and understand my journey because they are on a similar journey themselves. I know firsthand your donations this evening will help those with epilepsy and their support system in ways you could never imagine. So from the bottom of our hearts, we want to say thank you.
I'm Steve Kewen, and I'm the board chair of the Epilepsy Foundation of Michigan. I had my first seizure in college, and many more over the next few years. During this time, we managed to find medication to fully control the seizures, and I'm very grateful for that. But I know that many others are not so fortunate. It's particularly heartbreaking to see children suffering from uncontrolled seizures. When given the chance to help the Epilepsy Foundation help others, I jumped at it. I know that the foundation offers a wealth of information to people trying to make sense of their situation. It connects them to others who can help, and the foundation advocates for all of us afflicted with this, on an individual basis, like with schools or employers, and on a universal basis, like with our state and local government representatives. One of the most vivid examples of the importance of this foundation is in the annual summer camp for children who would never otherwise have the chance to experience what all their friends do on a regular basis. Now they have a place to go and just be kids for a few days, with other kids who share their frustrations and fears, but also all of the things that they love to do. You can see that every child, and by extension their families, are enriched immeasurably by this experience. So tonight, I ask you to dig deep and go big on auction bids. And if you don't win that auction item, please consider donating that money directly to the foundation, which you can do via the auction app. I'm not too shy to make the ask because it's for a tremendous cause. Thanks for showing your support tonight and for all you've done on behalf of the Epilepsy Foundation. Your support makes a real impact on the lives of so many.